for doubles.
This is going to be insane. We got Trifecta, DrMichaelBay, Snip, Untitled. Ooh, we got some interesting character picks here too. I knew Michael was going to go with the Crom because I was actually lucky enough to see him play doubles in at UWM doubles, and he was going with he was practicing this team. So seeing DrMichaelBay step out of his comfort zone with the Crom instead of the Sheik is going to be a lot of fun.
I don't think I've ever seen DrMichaelBay play a character aside from the Sheik, but especially like, in a case like doubles where the tier list can't just shift so dramatically. Absolutely. I'm down to see it. But this is a match right now of how do I kill versus how do you kill me?
Exactly. This is going to be a lot of, like, I like this team composition for Trifecta DrMichaelBay just because Trifecta's going to want to, like, not be as upfront, especially in the doubles scenario. He's going to be just, like, almost a stage hazard at points, and DrMichaelBay is going to be a good force to just wallow people out.
Yeah, I could definitely see that just right now with some of the gameplay. I mean, you see the constant shifting around. You see Untitled trying to get a little bit of these Gordos in, but then Trifecta, that can almost acting as a 3-on-2 in this case.
It's so crazy. They're cheating. They have a third character with them in can.
There are too many characters that are on the screen. My eyes can't follow it, but
the part I'm worried about is this Puff. Like,
yeah,
I absolutely believe Puff can do some crazy things in doubles, but in this matchup specifically, there's so much going on. I feel like it's hard to get in anywhere.
Yeah, in my opinion, doubles has a lot of different stages. You have, for example, the absolute chaos of going and getting all together and everyone just being in the same place. You also have this situation where you get into 1v1s. The real standouts, at least in doubles, is when you have to be aware of what your opponent's doing or what your partner's doing all the time. And you can jump in and know when to switch between those two modes. And we see, for example, Trifecta kind of lingering on the outside, and he's kind of letting his own separate doubles partner, the Can, really come in clutch, at least to try and save DrMichaelBay if he is getting overwhelmed by both these characters.
And I do think that the DrMichaelBay Trifecta team has been doing very well. Ooh, that was a really nice awareness from Untitled there to get that kill on Trifecta. I think it's going to be important to not only focus on DrMichaelBay, but getting Trifecta down a stock instead of just being some stock tank that's constantly an off-screen threat is going to be huge.
Yeah. You can be a stock tank at least as much as you want, and it all depends on when that person in the rotation just says, "This guy's got 3 stocks."
Exactly. it's free for alls back in middle school, and your friends point out that you got 3 stocks still.
Speaking of 3 stocks, both of these teams though have 3 stocks apiece at relatively low percents. You do see DrMichaelBay, probably the more volatile of the two players on this team. He's only on 1 stock. So now the question is, how can Trifecta really just pack on a lot of damage, and how can DrMichaelBay keep this life alive? The more hits that you get in, the better it's going to be for your chances.
And I am seeing some really good awareness from both of these teams. DrMichaelBay and Trifecta have been playing really well around oh my goodness!
The up air
that
on the top.
Up air! That was so crazy. I thought that was just a little bit of a unfortunate spacing with the up air there, but DrMichaelBay capitalizing in a perfect scenario there.
Doubles opens up so many branches of the combo tree, so many weird scenarios, and oftentimes you have to be ready for those. And DrMichaelBay was just ready to get that really early kill onto Snip off the top.
Absolutely. Ooh, okay. Not quite, but that was looking like a scary situation for Untitled there. DrMichaelBay with the Crom recovery seems to be something that you just got to be aware of, because nowhere safe, on stage, off stage. You just got to be. Uh-oh. That was a little risky.
Yeah, DrMichaelBay taking that, though, and this should be a little bit... I'm a little interested to see how this is going to pan out, because there is always the benefit of having 2 characters versus 1-on-1. But, we were talking, and you were talking about how Crom works, in the double scenario. In the singles, will that work out? But, oh my goodness.
That was a crazy can snipe. That was really, really good from Trifecta there. And Trifecta, DrMichaelBay taking game 1 in a very clean fashion, I might say.
I looked like he hit a serve almost out of a racquetball, just bonking off the wall, just going out of town. My friend, a big Mariners fan, he's looking like Shohei Ohtani out there hitting these home runs.
We got the Shohei Ohtani of Wisconsin Smash.
I remember seeing someone or some old video about how someone was comparing Street Fighter players to certain basketball players, and how saying oh yeah, this person is Kobe because he never passes to anyone else. He never gives up in that sense. But now we're running it back to PS2, and I kind of see that. If I know that some players tend to say like, oh, PS2 is the default, especially in doubles.
It's so hard to pick a stage for doubles because like this is like 4 different matchups happening at the same time, so it's just like every matchup is going to want a different thing, and at a certain point the most neutral stage you can think of might just be the best.
You also have a lot of the characters where a lot of the really core like doubles characters that are seen as really, really good, they often have a really common feature of low throws or consistent throws.
Absolutely.
And the PS2 platforms, they're at that height where if you can get the proper placement, suddenly so many more characters get access to these doubles combos with the throws. Mario is a big example. Duck Hunt's another big example of this, where you just get so many more combo opportunities off of it.
We are at about even stocks here. Trifecta up in percentage here. It was looking a little scary at first with MichaelBay losing a stock early on, but I think I would call this pretty even right now, even with DrMichaelBay in such a precarious situation, I might say.
Maybe this shouldn't even be us commentating these two teams. Maybe it's a question of Can versus Gordo. Who is the greater supporting figure?
Absolutely. We got two powerhouses of item play here. We got Gordo, we got Can. Who's going to carry these teams to victory? That was a really well-placed gunman to avoid all of the nastiness of the jet hammer there.
You see this fight on the side, at least between Untitled and Trifecta, and a lot of these DDD up airs just have not been fully connecting.
Wow, amazing up smash.
So Trifecta could just get that. You need to kill the dog.
It's got to go. And I think there was a little bit of a unfortunate spacing error there. Snip, I think, ended up taking Untitled stock there. So we are in an even scenario, but it's looking like there might be a little bit of communication errors happening with Snip Untitled here.
Yeah. I mean, we've been talking about Untitled, but we also do need to realize the fact that DrMichaelBay just lost his last stock.
Oh, absolutely. What looked to be such a dominant game for this team is turning into Snip Untitled having the lead here.
This game, especially more so than Game 1, did feel a little bit more almost like independent one-on-ones.
Absolutely.
And the problem is that when you have Chrom against Jigglypuff with that forward throw, it's not a fun time.
You are not in a great situation there. Trifecta, I would say, has been putting on the hurt, but at the same time, it's so even with him and Untitled, and just DrMichaelBay having some weakness against the Puff. Yeah, that's his last stock.
That's it again, yeah. Trifecta a little bit outside of the threat range to really just try and contest some of these things. He's been doing that a lot better in the first game where he has the can to just contest, but now we're doing 3-on-1 combos.
We are we are going to see some nastiness happen here. I am looking to see the first big team combo of the tournament here. Oh wow, that was a lot going on.
In a game like Ultimate where singles bread and butters are just so consistent, there's just something so exciting about just seeing these doubles combos plays.
Absolutely.
But
this is a scary spot for Trifecta.
But yeah, you have that DDD just roll through and just say you want to be a big body. You don't want to get hit. And we have Untitled and Snip looking almost like the Men in Black with these sunglasses.
Absolutely. They were here to take out the competition in the most literal sense.
They want to take you out, and then they want to neuralize you and make sure you forget what even happened. It was that quick.
How am I in losers? We didn't even play our first match. You wouldn't have ever remembered it. Oh!
Don't you remember? You showed up at 11:30. You were DQ'd from winners. But let's get into game number 3.
We got a notable character swap here. MichaelBay back on the Sheik.
Now, I do kind of agree with this because, I mean, we were talking about like Trifecta. We were talking about Untitled when we just didn't even see the hamster deaths that were happening to Chrom at that point. And Sheik, not necessarily as maybe like hard-hitting, but definitely can live a lot longer.
And Sheik, the joke is that she can't deal damage. However, MichaelBay is so like good with his character. He's able to get those consistent combos where he's going to be getting 40% off the hit if he's uncontested. The double bouncing fish.
Certified doubles moment.
That is so funny. I remember I was watching these two play, and they were playing against Deshoto, and they were complaining, oh, my character doesn't have auto turnaround anymore. You basically have auto turnaround because you have an opponent on both sides of you. It's the same.
That's a good point. That is an incredible point. But yeah, we do see Snip as well, like, you know, losing that first stock, and Untitled looking a little worse for wear as he is up at 150%. And normally for every other character, I'd say how. For DDD, oh,
that
just
is
reached kill
that is
percent.
average DDD percent, and Trifecta taking it with a clean up air, just putting the hurt on this big body. That was a really good catch on that recovery. Right when the super armor was off, he was able to get in with a can.
Yeah, and you see as well, there's just something as well about seeing a player where they have, like, you know, their tried and true mains, seeing them move around. And no offense, like, you know, if you have, like, you know, a specific character for doubles, but there's just something like seeing DrMichaelBay move on the Sheik that just, it feels nice.
Absolutely. And I know these players have a lot of history playing against and playing with each other, so it is something special to see these two as a doubles game.
But yeah, you see that, you see before that that weaving from DrMichaelBay. If it were any other character, if it was a certain blue-haired character with a sword, you're dead. You're done.
You are done. But Michael's so aware of his character, and he's playing a very nimble character. He's able to just sneak his way into these scenarios, and these bouncing fishes are putting in work.
He's so sneaky. He's like the little crouching ninja,
Absolutely.
hidden tiger.
I am so excited to see these guys continue on in bracket, because I honestly think they have a very good shot. And not to say this game is over. We are at even stocks right now. Or no, we are, the team DrMichaelBay Trifecta is up a stock, but this is looking dominant.
But now you're in a little bit of an edge guard ledge trap situation where they're just using, like, you know, their mobility. They're using the zone control from Duck Hunt. They're using the mobility from DrMichaelBay to just really make and put Snip and Untitled on notice.
Absolutely.
The bouncing fish is going to miss.
That's actually huge. Holding on to that stock for even longer here is going to be really important.
Coming out with the jabs from Snip, as Snip at 162, a little bit higher than you typically see for a Jigglypuff, but you do want to keep the stock for just a little bit longer. You need to help.
Incredible.
Untitled.
Wow, the jet hammer landing there.
Shout out to Kilogram Hours, I will say.
Absolutely.
I think of him whenever I see that move come out.
I have not fought against Kilogram Hours, but I have fought against plenty of DDDs who have shown me the power of a jet hammer at ledge.
Getting back onto the stage, and now you have Untitled at a relatively high percent, and the question is, how much can he annoy some of these players? How much can he annoy Trifecta and MichaelBay? You want to be that person who can really just hit back, because you do have things like the Fair. You have the Bear that can just really be a massive wall of pain. Your job in this game of tennis was to be the wall, and now the wall's been destroyed.
The wall is gone. I was just going to say, it's pretty huge that they took out the second stock from Snip here, because a solo Jigglypuff versus a solo DDD. Ooh, I like the attempt there.
Oh, you got to be aware of that range. That duck on F smash, that gets bigger the longer it's out. You don't even recognize
That's two. We are in the final stocks for DrMichaelBay Trifecta. Can Snip pull out this comeback?
This would be quite the comeback. This would be the comeback of the century if Snip managed to pull this out.
This would be a clip on Yeet Smash if he made it back. Is Yeet Smash a thing anymore?
I don't know. All that I know is that we're certainly not seeing any of these characters fly off the screen, but the exploding can is going to end it up, as now we have Trifecta and DrMichaelBay closing out that set.
Absolutely. Incredible.